From NOLA with the Forstalls. This is Chats with Chip. One-on-one conversations with my father, mentor, and hero, Chip Forstall. He's an attorney and a lover of all things New Orleans. He's here to share his expertise and opinions with you. What's up, New Orleans? Welcome to the podcast. I am your host, Jonathan Forstall, and today's segment, Chats with Chip, where I get to sit down with my dad, my pops, my hero, my mentor, Chip Forstall, and the founder of this firm, and talk with him about all kind of things. And today we have something that's a pretty prevalent topic, culture in the workplace. And if anybody has been with our firm, if anybody's been a client or has been around the office, knows that we have an incredibly great workplace culture. People that come here, they stay here. People that, we have employees that have been there for 30 plus years, right? So people always ask us, how did you cultivate that? How did you make that happen? So let's get right into it.
Before we start, everybody, just to let y'all know, I spent the last 2 days at Auburn University with my granddaughter going through orientation.
That's right.
And we started at 7:30 in the morning, ended at 7 o'clock at night. And Tuesday we started at 7:45 in the morning, ended up at 4. So if I don't feel a little bit tired today, that's why. It was a lot for younger people, and I'm old.
Sorry, anyway, you still got it though.
I still got it.
You still got it. That's really great though.
Workplace culture.
Yeah,
how
workplace
important
culture.
it is.
So tell me a little bit about when you started the firm back in 97? 1997?
Yeah, it was 1997. It was interesting. The story we were told before was my partner and I split. And to give you an idea about how important workplace culture is we told everybody, the staff, on a Wednesday. I take that back. He told me on Wednesday. He told the whole staff on Friday. They had a decision to decide where they wanted to go.
You mean talking about splitting the practice?
Split the practice. So you could either stay with him or go with me. And the agreement was that over the weekend, nobody talks to the employees. They just make the decision. Well, lo and behold, on Monday, everybody that I wanted to go with me came with me. And there was a reason for that. And the reason for that, as I explained it and stuff, is that I was always there talking to them. I worked longer hours than my ex-partner. And I knew about their families. If they had a bobo, if they had a problem, that I could help and stuff. So it started way before I started my own practice and stuff. It goes, and part of that is it goes back down to which I've preached to you your entire life, is we treat people. We don't talk down to people. One of my favorite sayings is, just because you're an attorney doesn't mean you're any better than a secretary. We're all in the same boat. Everybody's opportunities in life are different and stuff. I mean, some people had a lot of opportunities, some people didn't and stuff. And it's not their fault, it's just the way they grew up. The whole credo of the whole office and office culture is we treat everybody with respect and treat everybody equally. And as if it's going to be 30 years next year of that. I still have 2 of the original employees from me. So one's been with me for 38 years. The other one's been with me going to be 36 years in a little bit. 37 years in a little bit. The other people who came, they didn't quit. They retired. They retired. Sure. So, and right now, like you said, my bookkeeper had been with me for almost 29 years. But right now we have 3 people besides those people who are over 20 years, a couple of people over 15 years, a couple of people over 10 years, and then we have all your new hires.
That's right. So, I mean, that's longevity is something that definitely speaks to how we treat people and how people want to be here. You talk a lot about respect. You talk a lot about how, we treat people with respect. We talk, at the same level, not down to them, right?
Yeah, you cannot talk down to people.
Right, and that creates some kind of just mutual respect.
Of course.
How do you create a workplace culture that people want to come to work?
Well, it starts at the top, you and me. You can't talk the talk and not walk the walk. What I mean by that is, the story I tell, and you've heard this at least 1,000 times, is that on cleanup day, we have cleanup day twice a year. And we actually shut the office down for half a day and actually clean everything. Literally clean everything, including the baseboards, the picture frames, the whole, because I'm a
Clean out the drawers and
clean out everything. I mean, and it's amazing how many bags of trash we end up with because of that. But my job for, 20 years, I cleaned all the baseboards.
Why'd you do that?
Well, because I thought if I cleaned the baseboards, I'd let everybody know that we're all in this together and stuff, and I'm not any better than them now. 10 years ago, I stopped because I'm getting a little bit older and stuff, But I used to bring my grandchildren. They'd clean the baseboards.
They clean the baseboards.
Yeah, they'd clean the baseboards. Yeah. But the whole culture, that idea behind that culture is that I'll do whatever it takes to get the job done, and I expect you to do whatever it takes to get the job done. When I was younger, I always made sure I was the first one here, and most of the time, last one to go. Lawrence Geeson, who's been with me 38 years, he stays until 7 o'clock at night. Mm-hmm. He just loves it here.
But you're saying that the harder you work and the way you set an example for the entire firm and the employees.
Have to lead by example. Have to lead by example. You have to. Anybody who doesn't think they have to lead by example is fooling themselves. They're dictators, or you can't get the respect of people if you're not willing to do the work. So again, it goes back down to what we just talked about. It's all about respect. I respect them, their personality, and everybody's different. And the story I tell about that is I had one employee who I had to take a 2x4, beat him over the head to get his attention to do something. Another one I had to just whisper in her ear, and she'd get all nervous and do whatever.
Because people are different.
People are different and stuff. So you treat people, when I say respect, you respect their individuality, and you treat them that way. One size does not fit all. So it goes back down to the whole culture. Now, people disagree with this, and some of the people I know that disagree with this, but I treat my employees as family. Mm-hmm. The whole theme of the office, we take care of people.
Absolutely.
And so I take care of my employees. I mean, one of my employees, I bought her wedding dress. And when it came time to dance at her wedding and stuff, I was the one who danced because her daddy had passed away. So it's really about taking care of them and treating them like family. And if you treat people like family, you can have spats, but you love them and you can fix it and stuff.
Well, and I know we've done many podcasts about how we treat our clients like family. So is there some kind of correlation to treating our employees like family that kind of bleeds into them treating our clients like family? And that's kind of the...
I hope so. The whole theme of the office, I sure hope so. I mean,
Right.
Now, like I said, we got our clients that we don't like, but we still represent them and stuff, and we say we don't like. I mean, they aggravate us because, the clients out there, y'all want to get loans and too many loans, blah, blah, blah. It's a problem and stuff. But I know who y'all are because y'all keep coming back, and I got one guy who's been coming back for 35 years and stuff, paying my butt, but I love him to death. I mean, but it also goes back down to, the books I've read, and I've read a lot of books on this, is money is okay to pay people, but you can pay somebody a lot of money, and if they don't feel appreciated, understood, heard, they're not going to stay, or they're going to be unhappy. That's why I make sure every morning I go around, tell everybody good morning, ask them how they're doing. I can tell one of my superpowers, or my only superpowers. I know how people feel, and how I can sense it by looking at them and just the body language, and I'm just good at that. That's the gift that God personally gave me. Okay, everybody's got a gift. That's the gift I got. And what's wrong? What's the problem and stuff? And listen. And sometimes it's just listening. It's just listening, but so they can be heard. And when they have a problem or they have a suggestion, it's not used to say it's my way or the highway, but that's when I was young and stupid, okay? I am a firm believer that the collective is much smarter than the individual. And we practice that on a regular basis here with all your little meetings and, huddle meetings, right?
As you pick on me, but, it does have that collaboration effect. I think just getting everyone involved and feeling, important and heard, that...
So let me ask you, so now that you've been here for how many years?
Let's see, going on 8. What? Going on 10. Going on 10.
10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Time flies. So what do you think of the culture? And what are you going to do to improve it or keep it as good as it is?
Great question. I was not ready for that, but I'm gonna answer it anyways.
Yeah, because I got this. So I'm on my way out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be around forever. Mm-hmm. I told him I'm never going to retire. But the day-to-day operations is going to be you.
The batons in the past, yes. So, to be honest, I think this firm and this workplace is I'm not just saying this because my last name is Forstall and I'm your son, but this is by far the best work culture I've ever been a part of. When I think about it, when I talk to my friends about it, this is car accident, business can be kind of has a negative connotation, right? We're dealing with a lot of problems. People come in on their worst day.
Right.
But somehow our entire staff is still able to show up and be positive every single day. And people want to come to work. And so I applaud you for that, because now I got to take it and try to make it better, which
Right.
is, so how do I make it better? That's a great question. And, I found a lot of success in having these little meetings.
Mhm.
Okay.
We laugh because he has a lot of meetings.
I have, it's a good collaborative
No,
effect.
I have to tell you something. I think it is. I have to tell you something. I got your notes from your last meeting and stuff. Very effective. They're not super long. And again, it's letting people be heard, making sure that they stay on message as far as our philosophy of helping people. And when I saw the notes and stuff, I was like, okay, this is pretty good.
Right. And that's just that little touch point that we have. And that's just to let y'all know, it's a little vision huddle that we have every other week where we, the whole firm gets together for 15 minutes and we just talk about one topic. And it might seem a little, we're talking about phone calls and we're talking about this or that. But at the end of the day, it's lining up everyone together with the same vision that we have as leaders, right? And, getting them included and not only that, but I'm not leading all the vision huddles. I'm actually only leading like a third of them, right? And so it's
I didn't know that.
welcome. But like Carmen and Michael, like giving them the autonomy and the space to be a leader, we're getting buy-in from everyone else about everything. So it's I think that part is something that I can bring to the table, and that will be effective.
Yeah.
So,
And that is good, be other people involved. Again, the more involved you are, the more you're going to,
and I think they get a little more purpose,
I mean, absolutely positively. When you're involved in stuff and you're making decisions that help guide the firm and stuff, you take ownership of it. One of the books I'm reading right now about human behavior and stuff, the people who succeed are the people who can say, I made a mistake and own the mistake. The people you don't want around you, who are the people who want to blame the mistake on somebody else and stuff. And that's what,
so true.
Well, it is. And it goes back down to the whole culture of the office and stuff. I tell people all the time, you're going to make a mistake. I'm okay with that. It's just if you make the same mistake over and over, you just don't care. So it goes back down to understanding human nature, understanding people, being supportive. I will brag. One of the employees, her son, they couldn't, she did away to send her son this summer for the summertime.
Like summer camp?
Summer camp. I paid for the summer camp. I mean, she's happy. He's happy because he was coming by the office. He's cute as a bug. And I paid for the summer camp and stuff. And, why you do that? I said, because I like her a lot. And he's so stinking cute. And if I didn't pay for it, he wouldn't have that experience and stuff. So it goes back down to caring and treat them like family.
And that, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't cost you a lot of money.
It does not and stuff. It does not cost a lot of money. And it just builds that closeness and stuff. I mean, because now, he goes to camp and hopefully he'll remember, down the road that.
Well, and I'm sure most people listening to this are thinking, my boss wouldn't do that.
But I'm not like everybody else's boss.
So it's just going a little bit extra, going that extra mile.
And again, you see a need. I mean, if you had the wherewithal, and if your brother couldn't send his son to camp, and you really liked your brother, and you really liked why wouldn't you do it? That's it was. But again, it goes back down to the whole firm. We take care of our clients. We go the extra mile. It's why we are where we are today. Yeah. I tell you something else that we do, which we talked about before. Guess where the office is going in? Is it November?
November.
November. I'm taking the whole office on a cruise.
That's right.
We do that every other year.
You've been doing that for 20 years?
About, yeah, probably.
Like right after Katrina, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, about 20 years. That's about right. And they say, well, why do you do that? I said, because it's a good time and I like my people and we have a fun time and it builds camaraderie. Also tell them about what you do now. Yeah,
that's another thing that right when you said that, it came to my mind. This year we were very intentional about having.
This is something he did, not me. Wasn't my idea. It was his idea. So he's moving it forward. Right. Go ahead. Sorry.
I've noticed that we were having these office outings, but they were like, one in April and then one in November when we remembered. So I said, let's plan it out for the whole year. Let's make it every 6 weeks. We do something. And so it's been planned out for the entire year, just as I planned. And those office outings, they might not see it might be just drinks, right? Or just something like that. But something outside of the office, there's something that happens between the employees that's outside of the office that is just
socialize and don't talk about business.
Don't talk
about our own selves, feelings, lives, whatever.
Right. And we spend, $100 or whatever it is at the bar. And,
right.
And the camaraderie, like you said, the closeness and it just bleeds into the workplace.
I have two employees who used to work for me. One of them retired because her husband started making a lot of money. The other one worked for me for years and stuff, and her kids left, so they didn't need to work anymore. And my office manager and my bookkeeper, who's retired now, still go out to lunch once a month.
That's awesome.
I mean, so they're still really, really good friends. In fact, the two employees I've talked, the three of them, they come to the crawfish boil. They're invited to go on the cruise.
That's right.
I mean,
I was just about to say that.
And again, they're no longer working here, but they're still part of my family.
But that just solidifies the family word.
Yes.
Right?
Well, absolutely. And they still
here.
Yeah. I call her on her birthday. She calls me on my birthday and stuff.
She hadn't been here
in
for
fact,
20
one
years,
of them, her grandson spent so much time here. When he got married, I was the one who married him. Yeah. I mean, so it's really, it gives me goosebumps because it's, it's not just
a slogan.
No, it's not.
It's real.
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about, and you've said you've preached this so many times to me, so I wanted to touch on this, but that money is not everyone's motivator.
Oh no, you have to. It is feeling appreciated at work, and being recognized is absolutely, positively more important than money.
Because I think people are always thinking, how do I get a raise? How do I get an extra buck? But at what you said before, and I want you to kind of elaborate on this, is that if you're not treating them right and and all you have is a salary, that they're going to leave you for a buck.
Exactly.
Right.
And they're going to, not only that, but if they don't feel like they get earning enough, they're not going to work as hard and stuff. Where if they're part of the family and stuff and they're appreciated, and then again, we give raises on a pretty regular basis and stuff. In fact, I got some employees here who are making a lot of money because they've been here for 20-something years who just get a raise or, they get a raise on top of a raise and golden handcuffs. But they still,
But they're loyal and they show up every day.
My Allison.
Mm-hmm. That's his assistant.
My personal assistant. I don't even know the names of all my doctors and stuff, okay? And if you ever ask her what's her hours at work, she'll say 24/7 stuff because she does and stuff. But again, her daughter right now, who hangs out with my granddaughter, who's right now sleeping by the desk and stuff because she's off of school right now. I mean, it's just, in fact, she calls me Papa Chip. I mean, she's part of my family. I mean, Allison is just, Allison, Carmen, they literally part of my family.
Right. I mean, and those are the employees that you can call.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
24/7,
And the same thing applies to them, though. If they need anything, I always told her, if something happens and stuff, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Always will be.
Just
in fact, my office manager, who's been with me for 38 years, and I could not have made it without her and stuff. And like I said, she's been with me longer than all my wives, which my wife doesn't like, but that's okay. It's just true. I told she can't retire. She only works 12 hours a week now, 13 hours a week, something like that. But, she
comes in.
And I told you, what did I tell you about her?
I cannot fire her.
Nope, cannot. She's a legacy employee.
She is protected.
And she gets X amount of dollars.
And she can come in and just drink her coffee.
Or whatever it is. And the reason I do that, is because she needs some place to come, because if she doesn't, she'll sit home and, this is a good thing.
Chip is loyal to a fault.
To a fault. Now, you've reminded me before, but I can't help myself. That's
true. And I think it is.
I wouldn't be a success without these people. I would. There's no way in the world.
No,
there's no way in the world. I'd be a, one horse lawyer making a couple of dollars and doing okay.
And you always preached that when I was growing up, and I never really understood it. Now I get it.
Yeah,
now
they do all the work. We guide the ship, but they do all the work.
If none of them came in tomorrow, we would be in trouble, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So and I think that the loyalty factor, the trust that you've gained with just every one of your long-standing employees is a testament to how you built this
And
firm.
what do I tell people when they come to work for us? I tell them all the time. I said, I want you to work here till you retire.
Mm-hmm.
And I really mean that.
Yeah.
I said, most of the time, it's not the work that'll get them fired. It's the fact that they don't get along with people in the office, or they have too much drama in their life, which bleeds into the office, or they're negative. So, I mean, those are the reasons I fire people, get rid of people, because of negativity, or because the drama, or they can't get along with people. Because I always say we spend more time with these people than our employees than we spend with our kids sometimes. Yeah,
exactly. So, and that's extremely true. And I know we have a very high standard around here, right? We hold high standards.
We do.
Through
we do.
Right?
We do.
And that's
we
look. You've been here for 30 years.
You've been doing it for 47 years and stuff. And I'm going to tell you right now, you give them the tools, and if you don't have high expectations, then they're not going to feel like they're achieving something.
So you think
it's a benefit to them? Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you think high expectations kind of help the culture?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. There's no question in my mind whatsoever. So if you hold somebody up to a certain level, and still they'll work to that level, whatever the level is. That's a psychological fact, human behavior. Go read the book. It's 600 pages long, but it's a good book.
And I know we've talked about also leadership styles, right? And I know
I'm a big do as I do, don't do as I say.
Do as I do, don't do as I say.
In other words, be nice to people, treat people. I mean, when y'all have problems with including you, have a problem with the client, you can't get through to them. What do y'all do? Y'all send them to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I'm willing to do that because it's, actually I like that part of it, to tell you the truth. I like what I do now.
And one thing I kind of wanted to touch on that you mentioned earlier is every morning you walk around right when you get in at 8:35, 8:40, whatever time you get in, and you say good morning.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us why you do that? And what does that do, I guess, is what I'm getting.
Well,
I think
it's a good way to start off my day.
Sure.
Because I like it. I have nicknames for most people.
You do. You do.
I just do.
I won't say what my nickname is.
Yeah, no kidding. I guess it's just to let them know that I'm here and give them a smile and, positive mental
I guess
attitude.
when
I don't know. I don't know. I started it long time ago.
But I think it has more of an effect on people than.
Well, maybe so. But
than
I tell you one, the story I did hear was when the lady came to write us, the lady came to program one of the computer programs. It was the needles. I think it was needles. She came by and she sat here for a couple of days. And when she left, she goes, I have to tell you something. I've worked at a lot of places. I've never seen the boss come around and tell everybody good morning. I looked at her, I said, really? And I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I've just been doing it for so long. It's just second nature.
But I think from the employee's perspective too, it recognizes and affirms that you're here, that you're present, that you're
and I have a positive mental attitude because I've always got a smile on the face.
Consistent.
And I always, and I have to tell you, let me tell you something. Some days I come in and I don't feel like smiling because my granddaughter yelled at me about she didn't like the breakfast I made or something like that, and she aggravated the hell out of me. But I still came in because I got to tell you something. I'll leave all of that outside. Because here is
leave it outside.
Leave it outside because let me tell you something. This is I've told you this before and stuff. When I was going through some of my divorces and stuff, this was my safe haven.
Yeah.
I like my office. I like coming here. I like doing what I do. I mean, I really do. I like the people who work for me. I mean, I have to tell you something. I should say work with me because they're good people. I mean, they're all good people.
Doesn't always feel like work. That's what I've noticed is that.
Yeah.
I tell you this, and I'll say it on the podcast. I called you. What was it last night? And my wife and my kids are out of town. Okay, my wife and my kids are out of town. Yeah. And this is the first time this is, I think, ever happened where I literally, my wife, kids, and the dog is out of town. So I have no one at home, and it is 8:00 at night, and I'm still working. Not because I have anything due, but just because I love what I do.
Right.
And I'm going to go home and watch TV. No, I'm keep working. My wife actually called me at 8:00. She's got my location on her phone. And she says, why are you still at the office? What do you care? You're in Mobile, Alabama. Just go home and get some rest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because you do, it's like me. I mean, no, I really don't need it financially. Yeah, I don't have a lot of hobbies, but I love coming here.
Love it, right.
I mean, I just, that's why I told you I'm never going to quit coming here.
All right, that just about rounds us out for today. If you liked anything from this podcast, please give us 5 stars. It goes a long way. And check out our other segment, Local Legends. And we'll see you back here next week. From NOLA with the Forstalls is presented by Jonathan and Chip Forstall. Executive producer, Mona Lisa Johnson, Sierra Media Productions. Host, Jonathan Forstall. Casting director, Jonathan Thomas, Ascension Branding and Marketing. Post-production editor and voiceover talent, Matt Pawlowski, Redline Studios in New York City. Produced by Ascension Branding and Marketing and Sierra Media Productions. Thanks for listening.